This past weekend, Metallica kicked off the M72 World Tour in support of their new album, 72 Seasons. In each city on the tour, Metallica is playing 2 shows, each of which have a unique set list. So, they'll be playing 32 different songs at each stop on the tour, 16 each night. 2 months ago, I published a video on the channel where I attempted to predict exactly what the set list for each night would be. My predictions were based on having attended dozens of Metallica shows, as well as having studied set lists from hundreds more. When I published that video, I promised to put out a follow-up detailing how well I did with my predictions. As promised, this is that video. Depending on how you look at it, I either did really poorly or relatively decently. I'm going to start out with the really poorly, but stick around till the end of the video so I can tell you where I think I didn't do too bad. Of the 32 total songs played over the 2 nights, I only got 1 exactly right. By exactly right, I mean on the correct night in the correct slot. That song being Enter Sandman is the closing song on night 2. Here's a look at my night 2 predictions side by side with the actual set list from that night. As you can see, I didn't do great. A couple of songs were total swings and misses. As I mentioned in the original video, Bleeding Me was just wishful thinking on my part. The Memory Remains, on the other hand, I really expected them to play, but it did not appear on the set list for either night. The same is true for Hit the Lights. As for the other songs I predicted for this night that didn't get played at all, Spit Out the Bone was a shot in the dark, and Crown of Barbed Wire was a total guess since, at the time, 72 Seasons hadn't been released yet. My predictions for night 1 didn't fare much better. Never in a million years would I have predicted that they would open the show with Orion. Even including Orion at all in my predictions, which I did for night 2, was a gamble. As I said in the original video, I considered including that song at all as wishful thinking. Although most of the songs I predicted did get played over the course of the weekend, none of the songs on night 1 were in the correct slot. Some, like the Four Horsemen and Blackened, are classics which did not make an appearance. Shadows Follow, like Crown of Barbed Wire on night 1, was a guess about which songs from an unreleased album would be played. And my Turn the Page prediction was based on the fact that Metallica usually liked to play at least 1 cover at a given show. Night 2 did follow that pattern with Whiskey in the Jar, but no such luck on night 1. Okay, so I acknowledge that I missed the mark when it comes to predicting correctly what night and exactly what order the songs would be played in. But I didn't do terribly when selecting which 32 songs the band would play over the course of both nights. Of the 32 songs that I had predicted would be played, 23 actually did appear on the set list of either night 1 or night 2. That's a 72% grade, which I don't think is terrible, especially considering I had to guess at which songs from an unreleased album would be included. You can see my original predictions here with songs that were played in green and ones that were not played in red. I also want to note that I predicted that 6 songs from 72 Seasons would be played in total, 3 each night. I heard some pushback on that subject, with some thinking more new songs would be played, and some people even going so far as saying they thought the entire new album would be played over the course of the 2 shows. In fact, what happened was 3 new songs were played each night. I think the predictions I'm most happy with would have to be Harvester of Sorrow, Orion, and Battery. Those are the biggest stretches I made, which ended up being correct. If you want to hear my thought process behind the set list that I created, check out the original video, which I'll link in the description of this video. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, this is Kennedy for None More Metal.